Now we've got a new heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
Something I think you said on Twitter that you predicted as well.
Well, you can't predict it, brother. It's heavyweight boxing. Any type of boxing, one fight can change it. But there's very, very, very few 50-50 fights in boxing. Very few 50-50 fights. And I did not see that as a 50-50 fight. I saw it as a fight in favour of Tyson Fury. So, when you see it in favour of somebody, you pick that person to win it. Tyson Fury is all wrong for Vladimir. He's all wrong for most men, but he's definitely all wrong for Vladimir. I became a fan of Tyson's in, I think it was his second or third fight. He was busy with the jab, threw combinations, went to the body, and he moved well. All things that most heavyweights don't do. And he's a fighting man, he's from fighting stock. So there is no way that he was going to go out there to Germany and let the occasion get to him. That just wasn't going to happen. Vladimir is a fighter that is excellent at what he does, but he only does what he does. Now, I know in boxing the golden rule, if you can't land a jab, don't try and land that right hand. But if you're not landing the jab at all, it's sooner or later you got to take a risk and at least whistle the right hand over. Klitschko won't do that. He's so strict in what he does, he couldn't land that jab. So there, he didn't even let the right hand go. And then when he did let it go a little bit, round 10 and 11, he got hurt twice by two hooks. I favoured Tyson to win the first one, and I favour him to stop Klitschko in the second one. Because I think Klitschko will understand he has to take some risks. And while those risks will be extremely dangerous for Tyson early on, I also think that they will leave Klitschko open, because he's never let the right hand go unless he's known where somebody is, and you don't know where Tyson's going to be. So I'm delighted for Tyson Fury. He's done his thing against all odds. When people don't give you a chance, you got to have a strong resolve and a strong belief in yourself, and I admire that in a man.
How long do you think he can stay at the top of the game?
Well, name some names and I'll tell you if I think they can beat him.
Anthony Joshua?
Not yet. People are. Barry Hearn said now they've seen who the best heavyweight in the world was. You didn't see that off the last fight. He's an excellent prospect. He's had 15 fights. I think that fight is 18 months to 2 years away. Now, his promoters won't say that because they want him in the mix now. But, Anthony Joshua against Dillian Whyte was an excellent fight. It shouldn't have been if he's the best heavyweight in the world. That's no disrespect to Dillian Whyte either. But if you have one man who's the very best in the world, he should shine out among everyone else. Well, I thought Tyson against Klitschko dominated. I didn't see that as a close fight. Fury against AJ against Dillian Whyte, that wasn't a domination. That wasn't a domineering performance. I think he's an excellent prospect. I think, I've said before, I think he's the truth. But it takes a long time for that to come through. Like I just said earlier about Garv. It doesn't matter how good you were over 3 rounds. You've got to do that over 6, over 8, and over 10, and over 12. And it's learning when to take what part of a round off. Do I start this round quick? Or am I going to start this easy to fish a man forward to get him laid on? There's so many different things you've got to think about depending on who you're fighting. And he fought that fight because he wanted to prove a point in the first round, something that I thought he would show more composure in. So it was an excellent learning experience for him. I do think that he's comes across as being an excellent student. So he will learn from that. But in order to learn, you got to have more fights. I don't see anyone at the moment beating Tyson Fury. Name me another one.
Deontay Wilder?
No. Deontay Wilder.
I don't know who's actually good enough to be in the mix.
Deontay Wilder hasn't looked good since he won it. He looked good in his performance winning it. He hasn't looked good twice against ordinary men since then. I don't see any of them. I don't see Tyson giving David a third chance. And I think that if David got himself in a mandatory position to get that third chance, I think that Tyson's all wrong for him too. I think Tyson, people are going to have to suck it up and accept it. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. All right, he's not the undisputed. He doesn't have the WBC, and they've stripped him of the IBF. But everyone said that Klitschko was the undisputed champion. So now Tyson is. He beat the man. And it's a shame that people say that wasn't the best Klitschko that night. It was. But you saw Tyson Fury make the best Klitschko just become defunct. He just didn't have what it took to beat Tyson Fury. And people just have to just call it what it is. Yeah. That's a good man.
Sometimes
that's a hell of a fighter. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a hell of a fighter.
What do you make of Tyson's comments that have been, much
it depends. It depends what you think of when people say what you make of his comments. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't know. The video clip that I saw, he didn't make disparaging comments. So if there is a report or a clip where he made disparaging comments, that's totally different. He gave his opinion of what was in the Bible. That's not disparaging comments. They might be comments that most people don't want to hear. That's fine. You can get upset with that. But to ridicule a man for having an opinion, should he get upset then that people have an opinion opposite to him? So I don't believe in that you should run down anybody or be verbally or physically abusive towards anybody. But I didn't see that in the clip that I saw anyway. I saw him have his opinion about the Bible. I can't see what's wrong with that. So I think if somebody can clarify that for me, then I can give an honest opinion from what I saw.
It's certainly going to be entertaining with him up at the top though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be entertaining. It's a shame that if when Sports Personality of the Year, is that tonight?
I don't know if it'd be on a Sunday, so it'd be Sunday night, I'd imagine.
Sunday night, well, he's definitely a personality. And he's just done the biggest thing in sports. So, he's a shoo-in, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought so.
And like I said, people, I don't think, I did see him make comments where you should live and let live. But I haven't seen people talk about them. No. And I think in general, I do think all of us, every one of us, we get weak when it comes to standing on our own. We could have an opinion of our own that just thinks, no, I think this. But then if you stand in a room and 100 people go, no, I think the other thing, we kind of go, yeah, maybe you're right. Instead of going, well, no, I think this, and stand by him. And I think a lot of people are actually afraid, even if they don't think he's done something wrong, they're afraid to say he hasn't done something wrong. But he's given so many interviews the same way as anyone does at his level. I don't know if he has, in some interview, said the things that people are saying. I can only talk about the one interview that I saw the clip of, that they put a video up of. That's it.
Yeah, and I think he clarified it, didn't he? He just said, these are the same comments that I made years ago, and I've said what I said, doesn't mean I'm against it.
Yeah, they didn't, maybe, do you know what, maybe, and there's a lot to be said about this. Remember years ago, it was, what was that thing years ago when they came for, I won't even get it right now, so somebody will have something bad to say about me, but it was basically, we came for the blacks, I wasn't black, so I didn't say nothing, and then we came for, let's say, the other people, and I wasn't them, so I didn't say anything. And then they came for me and I was the only man left. There was no one here to stand up for me. People, if you're in the background not doing too good, people just let him off. But now he's a traveller who's the king of the world.
Unfortunately, this society seems to want to shoot people down when they get to the top. But.
You know what, no matter what level you're at, no matter what you do, but people don't like to see certain people do good. And especially if those people there's probably lots of travellers don't like to see him do good. But there's definitely lots of people outside the travelling community just don't like travellers and don't like him to see him do good. We can't go around calling Indians by certain names, calling the Irish by certain names, because it'll be as disparaging. But people can call travellers pikeys all day and nothing happens. Yeah, so I think we could all do with checking ourselves.
Cool. Well, on that note, we'll draw this interview to an end and wish you all the best of luck for Sunday. Cheers, mate.
Peace.